Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Well, this holiday season, as we reflect on a year filled with unimaginable challenges and for many incomprehensible loss, these are the words that have sustained my faith and helped explain the inexplicable nature of the year that was in 2020. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Well, it's a commandment in two parts, asking us to do two things that are often quite difficult to do. One, to believe in an enduring love bigger than ourselves. And two, to recognize that our ability to understand that love and to fully master our human and spiritual purpose lies outside of ourselves. Now, there have been few years in modern history in this nation where abiding by that edict has been quite so difficult. Everything about 2020 often feels completely senseless. A pandemic of foreign origin that has killed thousands and sickened millions. Businesses and professions a lifetime in the making destroyed overnight. Racial divisions so inflamed that even those who agree on the problem can't seem to find a way to see eye to eye. A political climate so toxic and so divisive, many friends and family members no longer speak. And now, worse still, an explosion in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee, on Christmas morning, marring the sanctity of the holiday that we all love. Now, from the outside looking in, it would appear that the path back to a functioning America, much less a united nation, would require our very own Christmas miracle. But what if we were looking at the state of our union from the wrong perspective? What if the miracle we seek is already underway, simply waiting for us to do our part and show up? The Gospel of Mark recounts the story of Jesus and the blind man from Bethsaida. It's the only place in the Bible where that particular story is told. When the people of the town asked Jesus to heal this blind man, Jesus first took the man's hand and escorted him out of the town. He then spit on the blind man's eyes, laid his hands upon him, and asked the man what he saw, to which the blind man responded, "I see men walking as trees." To which Jesus responded by placing his hands once again on the eyes of the blind man, and when he looked up again, the formerly blind could see every man clearly. It's easy to just look at this as one of the many miracles of Christ from the gospel, but there is a message found not in the healing itself, but in the process that was required to heal. You see, this miracle occurred in three equally important parts. Before Jesus began the restoration of sight, he removed the blind man from his previous environment. And after Jesus lifted the darkness from the blind man's eyes, he still needed the input from the blind man himself to turn a blurry world into a sharpened vision. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. You see, America is a manifestation of the miraculous. We are a multicultural, multi-generational testament to the power of divine providence and human will and uncommon resilience. But miracles and the faith required to sustain them do not happen all at once. There is a process, and that process only continues to work when you are willing to do your part and work in faith with others. As this year comes to a close, we find ourselves feeling like that blind man from Bethsaida, confused as to why Jesus has taken our hand just to walk us out of town, oblivious to the reality that the miracle has already begun and that we have an important role to play in it. Now, we have been removed from our perch of comfort here in 2020, but the scene for the miracle has already been set. We just need to believe in our purpose and have faith in one another. For those who find themselves still locked out of places of worship on this day, what if it was to help us collectively see that our connection to our churches had become stronger than the roots of our faith? What if we were forced to discover that we had forgotten to lean not on our own understanding? Will you answer the call to fight just as hard for your connection with the rock upon which your church was built as you do for the building in which you pray? For those of you who found yourself saddened by the senseless death of George Floyd this past summer, and then equally dismayed as a serious conversation about race and liberty in America was derailed by appeals to change the faces on boxes of brown rice or ban the movie Gone with the Wind, as if those cosmetic changes would provide any meaningful change to America's state of race relations. What if that was just the first step in a multi-step process we have to choose to complete? What if the empty NFL stadiums, the abandoned baseball diamonds, the bread and circuses that have distracted us all from the daily challenges we face and the silent pain we all carry, what if they were all taken away so that we could see, perhaps through eyes still blurry, that there is still work to be done? Will you answer the call to help turn blurred pain into clear-eyed healing? Will you find understanding by listening to those that maybe you previously misunderstood? And finally, for the families torn asunder by the political divisions that have rocked this nation to its core, what if the pain of the unanswered phone calls, the dismay of the unfriending on Facebooks, the unease at the empty chairs for the holidays, what if it was all being used to force us to see that while our friends and family members may have been close to us, we did not consider them near and dear? Maybe it was all to force us to see that while we loved them, we loved their agreeableness more than we loved their true nature. Are you willing to do the work to find common ground with the people who previously helped give your life meaning, even when the whole world looks like men walking as trees? The DNA of America is common purpose. But the process is rarely fun, the journey is often messy, and the leaps of faith are often blind gestures that require us to trust with our whole heart in things we often cannot see. Because healing does not occur in a vacuum. It requires your input. And for miracles to actually occur, you have to be willing to show up and prepared to lean not on your own understanding.